A company that has a stable foundation has a secure future. The director who is responsible for business development and network growth builds the most modern tools and world trends on these stable foundations. This young, cosmopolitan, dynamic businessman is one of the engines of the company's current stage of development, and with that, all of us earn better and better. Please listen respectfully to the presentation of the company's Director of Business Development and Managing Director, Laszlo Gal, Jr. I would like to welcome you all. 2020 is an exciting year with which has brought a lot of changes in our life. It is a kind of change of paradigm. Now we have completely different ideas about traveling, communication, and events. On the one hand, I am so sorry that we could not meet each other in person. But on the other hand, I am glad that in this event I can talk to you directly while you're sitting in your living room. What we must talk about in 2020 is that the winner of the fight on the long run is not the strongest or the fastest one, but rather the one with the best aptitude to change. This year has been full of changes. Due to the pandemic, we had to reconsider many aspects of traveling and the events. What people at Flaben were managing very well was the demand that has evolved and which is here and is continuously growing. The trend is that people would like to be healthier. They would like to share this with their friends and with their loved ones. Obviously, they also need new sources of income, adaptability, and an aptitude to look for the future. This year brought some extraordinary, exciting results at Flaben. In March, most of you experienced what happens when you can take your business to the next level. There were some people who were carried to us by this new wave, and there were some others who joined in August and September and immediately found themselves in a period of increased intensity. This change of paradigm means that earlier it was the concrete companies and other big factories that represented value. But if we look at the American Stock Exchange, we can see what the top 10 companies were 30 years ago. If we compare them to the current top 10, we can see that people exchanged concrete to know-how. Value is represented by such things like how easily we can communicate with each other. So the biggest companies of the world have practically gone through a transformation. Earlier, the world's biggest hotel chain was probably Hilton Hotels. I am not quite sure. But now, Airbnb definitely sells out more rooms than the big ones did in the past. Among the biggest companies in the world, there were some car manufacturers that built their technology on combustion engines. And there is a company which could only achieve a fraction of their power and sells cars which is just a fraction of the other sales. It still represents a bigger value on the stock market because it is investing in the future. I'm talking about Tesla. Regarding Tesla, it is very interesting to see that, for example, this company uses recommendation marketing and personal recommendation because they know that the word from a friend or acquaintance carries much stronger advertising message than a billboard or a personalized Google or Facebook ad. While these companies can transfer in one step or compensate you in one step when you recommend something to a friend. Our company compensates the 5% commission on 12 generations from the very first moment, so the two offers are not comparable. It is very interesting to see that, for example, on the stock exchange, the trading giants, the retail chains, are way surpassed in value by those online platforms where anyone at any time of the day can order anything. I think of eBay and Amazon. And these companies try to activate the influencers by affiliate programs or partner programs so that their available products can be channeled in through these influencers. Our company chose a completely different way. We think that we build not on traditional marketing, but rather on something totally new. Network sales itself is a new idea, even in 2020, and I think that it will gain more and more ground. Actually, if you want to start a business or venture like this, you don't need a major capital investment. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. You just simply take a well-operating concept based on recommendation, knowledge, and former experiences, use it properly, and invest energy into it. When we look at the position of network marketing on the market, we can see that it has been constantly growing over the past 20 years. But for me, it is even more exciting when we look at the past 10 years of Flavin. It is also continuously growing, year by year. And an even more exciting thing is that the month of September 2020 broke all records. It didn't simply surpass, but exceeded our biggest turnover ever by 45%. We reached this result by focusing on this demand and entered the market with Ruby by Flavin. And with this temporary product, we launched something that no one has experienced before. We started this work 3 years ago, and now its first harvest has matured. It was 3 years ago when we announced that we shall elevate Flavin one league higher than the level on which we played earlier. We are progressing nicely on this road, but the destination is still very far. What we experienced, what you experience now, is that we increased the turnover of the company and raised the results of the members to a level that I very much hope they will reach every month. Because now it isn't only a handful of people, but rather a large pool of people who we could help to live a healthier and more successful life day by day. Unusual times bring about unusual solutions. The solution nowadays is that we cannot meet in person and cannot talk about business in person. We use various online platforms instead. It is very good to see that our members use Zoom, Viber, WhatsApp, Facebook Messenger, or any other platform to keep in touch with their members. These platforms are very good for liaising, but cannot substitute people-to-people communication. People-to-people communication is the most precious thing, because this way we can individualize what the other needs. Flavin's offer is very diverse because we can help those who just want to support their health, but we can also give vision to someone who would like to start an empire and make a fortune. Between these two, many people can find their goals, including those customers who can buy the products cheaper because they also help their friends to share the information. There are some who would like to get a second job to complement their salaries. Others fantasize about starting a business, but haven't found the one thing that they like the best. So they would rather try using a well-proven method in order to avoid the unnecessary risk that a startup or the start of a new venture entails. Our message in 2004 was the same as it is in 2020: health and success. There is an even bigger demand for health and success than any time before. More people want to have an alternative income for themselves, and more people would like to look after their health. We can help them with the how. We know how you can achieve those results that our members have already achieved so many times. While at the beginning, there were only some hundreds of people whom we could address in 2004. By now, we see that hundreds of thousands of people know the brand, and hundreds of thousands of people consume our products. But it is still very far from what Flavin can currently cover. The potential market of several millions or tens of millions or hundreds of thousands in Europe or hundreds of millions on the world. We can deliver products to 30 countries, literally, within a couple of days. In these countries, it is possible for anyone to start a network and make money as quickly as the end of the first month, as a result of the work they invested. The growth of the company brings about a very exciting period now in Flavin. We can reach a new level. Many people who have been with us for a long time now could increase the amount that they currently make with this business and manage to reach new leadership ranks. They could reach and create things now that they couldn't even dream about before. I am confident, and I am working hard to ensure that the level that you reach now wouldn't only be an extraordinary result, but that this would be the monthly average. Let this be the level from where we can make an even higher leap next time. And this should be the level below which we would not like to go anymore, because we have experienced what this business can do and what it feels like when so many good energies and good impulses are around us. About the impulses, let me just say that we can reach many new people, and I hope that many of them are listening to this presentation now. I would like to reassure you that you are at the perfect place at a perfect time. Or I should rather say that you have never been in a better place at a better time if you are really considering to achieve serious results with this business. We have accumulated a great deal of experience in the past 16 years, and we have some very serious plans for the future. When I am talking about a couple of hundreds of thousands of people, I am dreaming of a couple of millions who would consume our products on a monthly basis and spread the good word about our brand, and by that they are hopefully building your future team. When someone joins, it is very difficult to imagine that there will be others too who will invest the same energy into this business like you. I would like to reassure you that when we launched the business, we reached out to a few people only, but those very soon multiplied to a couple of hundreds, then to a couple of thousands, and by now to a couple of hundreds of thousands. And the same can be expected in your business too. Experience what it feels when the first person joins you whom you don't even know personally, or when someone starts consuming the product recommended by you that they had not known before. And the next, and again the next steps that follow are when members join you from countries where you have never been to, and you don't even speak the language of that country. Personal recommendation and knowledge transfer is the mentoring role that a lot of people desire in our fast-paced world. Many people desire feedback. Many expect affirmation, simply someone to tell them that they are going in the right direction. Also, in their aspiration that they want to achieve something new, sometimes a reconfirmation is enough for them to move on. My message is relatively simple. In an ever-changing world, like nowadays, we can offer an adaptive technology which doesn't require anything extra from you to make it work. You can take your phone from your pocket and you possess the physical equipment necessary for transferring the information that Flavon represents. We can teach you what is required to make sure that you succeed in this business. However, there is one thing that we cannot transfer: the burning desire for success. This is what you bring with you, but all the rest is something we can teach. We have a lot of background information about the company and products. Several independent certification authorities issued a multitude of guarantees for the quality of these products. We were given extremely many prizes. And we have here behind us Professor Dr. Zoltan Dino, who plays an active part in product development at Flavon. In addition, on the business side, we have accumulated at least the same amount of knowledge, because in this month alone, we have had 60 leaders who qualified for a level with golden pins. It means that these people have a monthly income of several thousands of euros, and they do know something that is worthwhile to follow. These people are aware that they can become more successful only by making others successful. And this message of Flavon has never been more relevant than now. Make others successful and you will become successful too. Make others rich and you'll also become rich in this business. Many people talk about the second wave, but I look at this a little bit differently. I think that the whole world that we live in has changed. Our world has changed from now. We are not talking about the first or second wave, but rather about the trends of the next years. We are talking about the changes of consumers' habits and consumers' needs. Human health is upgraded. Safety is now more appreciated. And if we can offer something new in this sense, then we can open completely new perspectives for millions of people. The novelty that I am talking to you about is the individualized health and tailor-made business success. What I mean is that in the next years, we shall experience something that we have not seen before. The need for alternative sources of income will increase, and also the need for alternative health-supporting products will increase. Bearing this in mind, all the circumstances are given for you to create something extraordinary that you have never done before. You have already experienced and tasted what it feels like when you raised your business to a higher level. I recommend that you consider this as a warm-up. From now onwards, since you know what it is like to play on a higher level, in a higher league, you should dare to dream on. You should dare to follow the ambitious plans of the company, as we want to look after not only hundreds of thousands, but rather millions of people. You should dare to imagine that you are also among those who earn several thousands, or tens of thousands, or hundreds of thousands of euros, if you are not terrified by this thought. You should dare to imagine that the health support of countless families depend on you whether you start to pass on a piece of information, because if you will not start delivering the first piece of information, then you probably think of one person, but the contacts of that person can lead you to hundreds, several thousands, or tens of thousands of people. You should dare to dream big, and I would like to wish you the best of luck, health, and success. Thank you very much for your attention.